What's up everybody, the mighty Quin here. I am back with some more Demon Slayer content for you. In today's video we are going to be going over the top 5 tips I think you need to know to take your gameplay to the next level in Demon Slayer, the Hinokami Chronicles. Or as Tanjiro likes to call it, Hinokami Kampudan! Anyways, let's get into this. So let me get in here and go to a practice session, and I want to go over 5 tips I think you need to know. The first 5 tips are going to be playing neutral. Playing neutral is very important in this game. Defense is more important than offense, and I'll get into that and explain that further. The second tip is push blocking. Understanding what push blocking is and utilizing it. The third tip I would have to say is going to be the mechanics you can use after push blocking. So I'll get into that. The fourth tip is going to be utilizing your movement. Movement is much more important. Honestly, movement is very important in this game. You can move and dodge and dash away from your opponent and not even have to block, not even have to take damage. And I think finally the fifth tip is going to be utilizing your support. Picking a good support character and utilizing your support defensively and offensively. So without further ado, let me get into this. I'm gonna find a practice match. Alright guys, so I am in a practice session here, and what I'm gonna do in this is try to utilize the practice session and use it as a means to show examples of the tips I'm trying to talk to you about. I have my opponent here set on the CPU setting. I think it's on hard or something like that, and the reason why I want to do that is just so that it attacks me, so that I got a continuous flow of attacks, something that would simulate a real battle. So while I'm in here, the first tip I want to go over is playing neutral. Why I think playing neutral is important. And you may be saying, the mighty Quin, what is neutral? Without further ado, let me go into that. So neutral, I would say, would be playing defensively and offensively at the same time. You don't want to be so defensive to where you can't take any input, any damage on your opponent, and you're just sitting there blocking the whole time. And you don't want to be so offensive to where you're literally overextending yourself and allowing yourself to get opened up, right? If you've played this game, or if you've been watching anything, have any interest in it at all, you'll know that the tables can turn very quickly. So what I mean by that is, let me see if I can use an example of what neutral would be. So he did a heavy attack. I blocked it. I could counter it. So I went in for my own attack. Let's see. I'm dodging. He did he parried it, but doing heavy attacks. I dodged it. Went in, charged in, got my own attack. An example of overextending myself. I'm gonna see if I can find that. What I mean by overextending, I think it's easier to show you than it is to explain it. So let me do that. So that would be an example of overextending myself, what you just saw right there. As you can see, I was attacking Giyu. I had him opened up, but somehow he was able to call in his support, and Makomo, she came in and attacked me from the back. Or another example would be, I'm out here in the open whipping my own attacks, just trying to finish out that combo, and next thing you know, I get attacked. So you don't want to overextend yourself. You kind of want to have an idea in your head if your opponent's going to break away from your combo, if they're going to call in a support, because even though it may be your turn to attack, if you overextend yourself, the tables can turn and they can counterattack you. So hopefully that's an example of playing neutral. You don't want to overextend yourself. You don't want to do too much. You want to attack when it's necessary. You want to block when it's necessary. Alright guys, so this leads me into my next tip is push blocking. You might be saying, Quin, what is push blocking? Hopefully I can try to give you an example and show you. But push blocking is a very good mechanic in this game, and it is going to be a lifesaver if you don't already use it. So again, Giyu is set to attack. I don't know if you saw it there, but I'm blocking, and then when they're attacking at the right moment, you can push with your analog stick, block, pause. Alright, so you can block and then push with your analog stick in the direction at which they're attacking. You want to push them away from you. This is not to be confused with the parry mechanic, because I know that I often just try to parry a lot. But block, and as they're attacking you at the right moment, usually it'll be at the end of a combo string, or because you can kind of see the pause before they do the final hit, or it will be they're trying to do a heavy attack, or they call in their support, whatever it may be. But block, and then if they're attacking from the right, push towards the right or push forward, and that will push them away from you. What that's going to do is it's going to create space. That space is very important, because not only does it break your opponent's momentum, but it's going to give you a chance to breathe. So let me see if I can demonstrate that one more time. Block, push them away. Block, push them away. Block, push them away. So push them away. The reason why that's so important is because, as we know, this game, your opponents love to just charge and attack you. It is very easy to just mash buttons and get a lot of damage. That's why defense is so important. So that leads me to my third tip, which is going to be understanding the mechanics you can use after push blocking. So some examples of what you're going to be able to do once you push them away, once you create that space, there's a couple of things you can do. You're going to be able to sidestep, get out of the way. You're going to be able to call on your support, maybe use it defensively or use it offensively. You're going to be able to either jump away or jump in, do a counterattack. And my favorite is utilize a charge attack. So the charge attack, that's going to be where you tilt and hold square, your attack button. The longer you hold the attack and charge it up, you're going to do more damage. You're going to be able to break through their guard. But you got to be careful with that, because the longer you hold your charge attack, you can take damage. Now, you're invincible on startup. Let me see if I can demonstrate it. So charge. You're not immune to throws. So he saw that and threw me. But charge. So the longer you hold it, the more damage you're going to do, but you're going to break through their guard and be able to start a combo yourself. So while push blocking, let me see if I can utilize it. So he's attacking. Why does he want to throw all the time? Alright, push them away. Push them away. Charge. And now, tables have turned. It's your turn. So push them away. Charge. Push them away. Charge. The reason why this is so important is because, as you know, and I've said it before and I'll say it one more time, if you push them away, your opponent is going to keep charging you and attacking you. That is the meta of this game currently. So understanding what you can do after you push block them is very important. Some other things that you can do, as I've said, is push them away, calling your support. So calling Nezuko, and she opens them up for me. I can do my own combo. Let me do that one more time. Push them away, calling your support. Push them away, calling your support. Another example would be push them away and literally just sidestep out of the way. Especially with the input lag, please be careful of getting hit again if you let go of block and try to dash. But push them away, dash. Push them away, dash, get out of the way. Break away from that pressure. Another thing you can do that I've said is you can jump out of the way. So, jump. Another, be careful though, if you do decide to jump, don't jump straight up in front of them. Try to jump and dash out of the way, because there is no component in this game that differentiates between an air attack and a regular attack. So if you jump straight up, if they're charging you and attacking you, they're still going to hit you. So if you do decide to jump, jump out of the way. So push them away, jump out of the way, push. So those are some mechanics that I think can help take your gameplay to the next level. Alright everyone, this leads me into my next tip. Utilize your movement. Movement is very important. I'll see if I can show an example of this, but there are often times where you can just dash and move out of the way, and you don't have to take damage. You don't have to block. It is kind of tricky sometimes because this is a three-dimensional arena, and you do have to be careful of your movement. I've learned this the hard way, but if you're trying to dash, don't think of it as linearly. You may have to, if you're trying to get away from your opponent, it may not be as simple as dashing left or right or up and down. It may be, because it is three-dimensional, to avoid your opponent, you may have to go at an angle. You may have to dash up and backwards, something like that. A reason why this is very important is if for some reason your opponent surges you, as we know, surge damage does a lot of damage. So if your opponent surges, you can't sit there and hold block. Usually, I mean, maybe you can, but 9 times out of 10, they're going to break through your block. They're going to open you up, and they're going to get a lot of damage. As you can see, I'm literally just running out of the way. Alright everyone, this leads me to my final tip. Utilize your support effectively. Pick a nice support character and understand that you can use your support offensively and defensively. So let me get into this and explain this further. So when you're thinking about utilizing your support, there's a couple of things you can do. What I mean by using your support defensively is this right here. As I'm sure you already know. Holy crap, that's a lot of damage. Let me call in my support to save me. That does use both of your defensive bars, which sucks. They will eventually regenerate, but you want to try to avoid that. If possible, please avoid that at all costs. Uh-oh, a lot of damage. Call in Nezuko. But at this point, if you can see, I don't know if you can see it at the top of the screen there. Look at my opponent's meter and look at my meter. He's at an advantage because he has more meter than me. He can utilize his support offensively. I'm at a disadvantage because I'm just stuck without support for right now. So, if possible, try to avoid using your support defensively in that manner. There is so much more you can do. So, let me see if I can showcase another example. So, as I showed you before, you don't necessarily have to just call your support out to save you. Try to avoid that. You can push block, get them out of the way, call your support in, get some help. I don't know if that's offensively or defensively there, but push block, call your support in. That's sometimes much more useful than just breaking away, because at least you're still with meter. And finally, I want to go over using your support offensively. So again, you can call your support in when you're in that push block stage and you create some space. Another thing you can do is you can call your support in, attack your opponent for you, open them up, and you can go in and combo from that. And it's a great way to lengthen your combos, get more damage. Another variation of that is calling your support in the middle of a combo. So let me see if I can demonstrate that. So I'm attacking, calling my support Nezuko. How did he block that? What in the world? Calling Nezuko. And as you can see, that's close to 50% of his health bar. So that's very important. Some other tips and tricks you can do is calling your support to confuse your opponent, and then that's enough time for you to grab them. So let me see if that was not a good example. Support. Support. Boom. Don't forget to change your support character. Don't forget that you can change, as long as you got enough space, you can transform into your support character. That's why I play Nezuko as my support character, because she does a lot of damage and I love her combos. She's very fun to play with. You can change into your support character in the middle of a combo. Just hold down L1 and literally you can finish up some nice swaggy combos from that. So guys, I think that's going to be the end of this video. Thank you very much for watching. Just to recap and go over everything, the top 5 tips that I told you about. The first one is play neutral. This game focuses much more on defense than it does offense. The second tip is utilize push blocking. The third tip is understanding the mechanics you can do after push blocking. Once you create that space, you can jump in, you can dash out of the way, you can charge attack, turn the tables back around on your opponent. The fourth tip is utilizing your movement. Movement is very important. You can dodge and dash, get out of the way, and not even have to take damage. And finally, the last tip is utilizing your support. You can utilize your support offensively and defensively. Don't forget to like, subscribe for more content. Thank you very much for your support. Until I catch you guys on the next video, the Mighty Quin out. Take care of yourself.